Channeling with Tracy. Thank you so much for watching these little episodes where I am just having so much fun sharing more Inner Earth information with all of you, my beautiful Inner Earth family. And today I thought we could talk a little bit about Inner Earth chat. Let's have a little chat about the Inner Earth. I'm so happy and grateful to be able to share some of the experiences and some of the visuals that I have while I'm channeling, and some of the visions that I see whenever I do my personal private meditations with our beloved Anshar, Anya. So today, let's have a little Inner Earth chat. And I'd like to talk a little bit more about the way the Inner Earth looks inside. I think that maybe a few of you have commented and emailed me and have some questions about what the Inner Earth is like. And I have been slowly creating some art, some digital art that if you notice, I've added into some of the videos to try to bring more life to your third eye and bring more visuals to you so that you can see some of the things that I see too. So, let's just start from the top with the Inner Earth and the way our planet looks and the way that she works. As you know, obviously our planet is a beautiful sphere, a globe, just like we've been taught. And inside that globe is the central sun. And as Anya always says, you have to kind of release some of the knowledge that's been programmed into your mind as a child. We were always taught that inside the center of the earth is a giant core of rock or iron or some sort of a metal, and there's no life inside, which simply just isn't true, as we know. So I like to describe the earth as a geode. You know what a geode is? A geode is a crystal, a giant crystal, and if you were to slice it down the middle and pop it open, there would be all of this beauty and magic and shininess and sparkliness inside. And I think that's probably the best way to describe the way that our planet is, the way Mama Gaia really, really is and what she looks like. So if you were to take the earth and slice it in half and open it up, the first thing you would see is the central sun, which is, as Anya has always taught us for many, many, many messages, the central sun is the heart of our planet. Just like we have our heart that we project our light out to everyone else, Mama Gaia has a heart too. She's a beautiful, large being of consciousness, and her heart is the central sun. So if you were to open the earth up and see the inside of the geo, the concave structure on the inside, the central sun is right in the center. Her beautiful heart, which is a giant, large, glowing orb of energy. It's the energy where creation comes from. It's the same energy from the source which created all of us and all of the planets and everything in our universe and beyond. Her heart is a glowing ball of blue and golden energy, if you can think of, and I'll put the picture up here one more time of the one that I made of the central sun. Just constantly moving energy, swirling all around this beautiful golden orb of light, this huge, massive, beautiful sun on the inner center of the earth as you look down inside. And recently, since all of us have been connecting, and we've been connecting with the Anshar, and as the Anshar have been doing their spiritual and energetic work from the inside and transferring that energy out to us above, and we all connect our energy together as we do, we have formed this pink energy that Anya has spoke of many, many times in her messages. And this is new, just within the last couple of cycles that this has been happening, that this pink energy is also swirling around the central sun, the heart of our beautiful planet. And this energy is that high vibrational new earth energy, that fifth to sixth dimensional energy of love. It's so fantastic for me to see it whenever I channel. And a lot of times whenever I do my private meditations with Anya, she will always tell me before we're done and before I say goodbye till next time to go outside her door and connect my heart to the central sun and receive all of that energy within my energetic body that then transfers to my physical body. So looking down into the earth as a beautiful geode that is opened up, and the first thing you see in the center is the beautiful heart of Mama Gaia, the central sun. And everything else on the inside is concave. There are lots of different lands. As we have continents above, they have different land masses inside and below. There are also oceans and rivers, just like we have here. But because the way that gravity works, the water flows a little bit differently than it does. It comes from the inside to the outside. So as you visualize the center sun and then the geode that the earth is, the center part around the central sun is the air. And then the land is actually on what we would say would be the inside crust of the earth. So she really is hollow. Central sun in the middle. The next layer would be the atmosphere, the inner earth atmosphere, and then the inner crust, which is where all the land masses are, where the oceans and the rivers are, and where all of our inner earth galactic family live. There are definitely different land masses where different galactic family live. I've only seen a few during my personal journeys and during my channeling time with Anya. I have seen that there are land masses. There are several different land masses where Anshar reside. So they are quite a large population of Anshar inside the inner earth. I mean, they're advanced humans just like us, so they have been populating themselves on the inner earth for quite many cycles, as Anya always says. If you were to think of the concave structure and the land masses that are inside, the Anshar live on a land mass that is what would be closest to the central sun. So remembering that the earth is hollow, and as we see it now, above and below, we have our two polar ice caps. And I love how Anya said that she thinks it's so funny that we call them caps because caps are meant to cover a hole. So it makes perfect sense that, of course, one day those caps of ice are going to melt and the holes to the inner earth or the inner earth openings will be fully exposed. So we have an opening at the top and an opening at the bottom. And as we know, the earth is much colder around the caps, and it is the same on the inside. So as you get closer to the inner earth opening above and the inner earth opening below, it is a little bit colder. Overall, from my understanding, from what I've learned and the knowledge that I've gained, inside the earth is very warm. It's usually probably, I am in the United States, so we use Fahrenheit. I would say anywhere between 75 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm not sure what that translates into Celsius, but you can go look it up. But it's always very warm in there. But as you get closer to the inner earth openings, it's a little bit colder. And those land masses that reside up or below, near the inner earth openings, that is where our galactic family called the Nordics live. And if you've done any research about the Nordics, they're very similar to humans. They're really tall and thin, and they are also very white. They haven't absorbed as much of the rays as the central sun as the Anshar because they're a little bit farther away, being in those colder temperatures. And so they are very pale and white, but they're more advanced than the Anshar, and so they have this bright glow to them. So if you were to look at them, they would almost seem like a glowing being of white light. It's really fantastic. And also residing within the inner earth are Arcturians. As we know, Arcturians come from the planet Arcturus, but there are lots of them residing in the inner earth. They help out the Anshar in many different ways with technology and spaceships. And as Anya spoke about in one of her messages, they also help out in the Anshar birthing centers and help with the process of birth for the females to bring the babies in a really super high vibrational way. So we have the Nordics, we have the Anshar, we have Arcturians, we also have Lyrans, our beautiful feline galactic family, and there was one other one. Well, I can't remember. Oh, the Pleiadians, of course. And of course, they come from the planet Pleiades. But there are a lot of Pleiadians and Lemurians residing inside the inner earth. The Lemurians specifically mostly live in the city of Telos, which what I learned from Anya is the city that resides directly inside and underneath Mount Shasta. And this city is a beautiful glowing city of light. And Lemurians are also a little bit blue, but they have advanced so far along on their energetic and spiritual journey that they are mostly energetic beings of light. From my understanding, they live till infinity. They live basically forever. And under Mount Shasta in the city of Telos, I believe Anya spoke of it in the Mount Shasta video if you want to go back and watch that one. And then I talked about it a little bit in Twin Sisters Part 2, because that is where I met my twin sister Anya for the very first time when I went on my Mount Shasta camping trip. So underneath a lot of the mountains, here on the upper crust, I don't know the names of all the mountains, but from my understanding is where these space portal hubs are. So if you just think of an airport, but way, way more technologically advanced for spaceships and other galactic family to travel back and forth, most of those spaceship hubs are located in and underneath mountains. It's something about the energy of the mountain. I'm not quite sure, but I do know that that's where a lot of them are located at. So let's talk a little bit more about the Anshar city, the one that I've had personal experience with while channeling, the one that I get to see whenever I go into my meditations with my sister Anya. They are so magnificent and so beautiful and bright. There are these huge glowing cities of pink and blue energy. And from what I have seen, the structures of the buildings are almost like tall pillars, like cylinder-shaped pillars, and at the top of each building is a huge inner earth crystal. And the Anshar harness the energy from the central sun, and they use the crystals as a conductor. The energy comes from the central sun into these inner earth crystals, and that is what provides energy to everything that they do. And also, speaking of inner earth crystals, just for a little bit, because they're such a wonderful, fun thing to talk about, and there is a video that me and Anya channeled together that speaks specifically about inner earth crystals. They're everywhere in the inner earth. They're really easy to mine. They're naturally found in the ground. They're in the jungles. They're in the fields. There are some that come up through the water, through the inner earth, and they are like Mama Gaia's gift of free energy to us. And I'm so excited whenever the time comes that the polar ice caps melt and those of us that are vibrating high can come down into the inner earth, and we can farm and harvest some of these inner earth crystals and bring them above and do the same thing that the Anshar do, being able to conduct the energy from the central sun to the upper crust where we live. And all of this having to pay for energy bills and all of that, having not clean energy will just simply go away. It's so wonderful. It's like her gift to us of free, clean energy in the way that it should be. So at the top of each Anshar building is a huge glowing inner earth crystal. And from my understanding, they're similar to what we have above of what we like just a standard quartz crystal. They come in different colors and different varieties. And as they're activated by the rays of the central sun and absorb and conduct that energy, they change color. Some of them are bright glowing blue, some of them are golden, some of them are pink now, which is very beautiful, and some of them are sometimes almost like a yellow color. I think it depends on what the energy is being used for. I am not a scientist or an electrical engineer, so I don't know all the specific terminology, but just sharing with you the knowledge that I've seen and experienced and what I've learned from the Anshar over these last few years of channeling and connection. It's really quite amazing. Their city glows. It's definitely glowing. And as I said before, they're located next, like really super close to the central sun. So as Anya says, that is why they glow blue from the inside out, that their skin eventually turns this beautiful shade of blue because their body and their genetic DNA has absorbed so much of the central sun rays that it just changes them and upgrades them naturally. And they're just such beautiful, beautiful advanced humans. I'm so excited for the day not too far away when the polar ice caps melt and the Anshar can come above, when the vibration from the inside of the earth balances out with the vibration above where we are, and they can come above without any sort of harm done to their physical part of their body. When the vibration and the frequency is completely balanced and we all get to be family together in this physical way is just so exciting. And then, like I said, it's very, very warm there, and it's always daytime, which I found this very interesting. I was doing a channeling one day, I don't remember which one it was, and sometimes while I'm channeling, I have this ability to be able to ask some questions to Anya and to other Anshar that are around, because just as a side note, some days whenever I'm channeling these messages, sometimes it is just me and Anya, and sometimes it is a group of Anshar that are together and they are providing information as a group of Anshar to Anya through the energy conduit of me. So it's very interesting. Sometimes I can ask questions. And so I had asked, since you guys live so close to the central sun, do you have day and night like we do here above with our outer sun? No, they don't. It's very interesting. It's not like the central sun. The heart of our planet can turn on and off. She's just beating and glowing and providing her energy and creation all times of the day. So a lot of the Anshar in the buildings, these beautiful buildings that they live in, they have these screens that come across their windows at whenever it's nighttime and it's time for them to sleep, and they just kind of filter out the central sun energy, and it's still so beautiful. It's almost like a soft glow in their room. A few times when I've done my personal meditations with Anya, I'm not sure when she's sleeping and I'm awake, or I'm sleeping and she's awake, and I will go connect with her and she's already in bed, and she'll always get up and we will go into her kitchen area and have our beautiful conversations. And I've been able to see in her bedroom and throughout the building that she lives in the way the central sun looks at night with these screens that they have over the windows. And by the way, Anya lives in what we would call a huge condo complex. She lives in this huge building, this pillar-shaped building like I spoke of, that is in levels with a whole bunch of other Anshar, and they're quite large, lots of room, and very interesting. The furniture and things that they use are very technologically advanced and very modern and just really awesome to look at. It's hard for me to describe in our earth words what the furniture looks like through my third eye, but maybe you can just connect in with your third eye and see what I see, since we're all connected in this beautiful energy together anyway. And so sometimes we have these conversations in her kitchen, and she will go get out this beautiful fruit that the Anshar eat. I don't have a name for it, but she'll bring this fruit out onto the counter. It's about this big. It's pretty big fruit, and it's one of the main staples that the Anshar eat. It provides them with this amazing light and energy from the central sun. They grow it out in their fields, and the only way I can think to describe it is it's like a cross between a papaya and a mango. It's really fantastic, and Anya always cuts it up whenever we're in the kitchen having our conversations, and we eat it together. And she'll always leave a little bit of leftover for me as she goes back to bed. She says for me to finish the fruit up so that it can help upgrade my energetic body and then upgrade my physical body up here on the upper crust. And it is the most delicious tasting fruit I've ever tasted. It's very juicy and sweet and fulfilling. And as I eat it, I have this sensation of pure infinite health just surging through my body, and it's one of my most favorite things to do, and I'm always so excited in some of my meditations and channelings whenever I get to eat this beautiful inner earth fruit. So someday, one day soon, whenever all of us get to go down to the inner earth, I'm so excited for us to all try this beautiful inner earth fruit. And lastly, another thing I'd like to talk about, just of some of my experiences, is that the Anshar have pets, just like we do, and also just a little bit about some of the critters and animals that dwell within the inner earth. So I gained this understanding at the beginning of my journey of connecting with Anya, when I was really receiving downloads just all the time. I had to go through this almost like transitionary phase to receive all this knowledge and understanding of the Anshar culture, their lifestyle, what their buildings look like, the expression and visualization of what the inner earth looks like, because whenever I started channeling, I didn't even know what the inner earth was. I was still programmed the same way we all were with school, thinking that the earth was just completely solid on the inside. So I received multiple downloads over a long period of time to retain and have all of this knowledge and understanding, and I'm so happy to be able to share it with each and every one of you. So there was this one time I was channeling when I was able to experience the Anshar and their pets. And as you know, in some of the journeys that Anya takes us on, she always has us meet in the field of green grass and red flowers, where the grass and the plants, by the way, in the inner earth are conscious beings of light. They are awake and conscious. They are elevated in the way that they think and feel on their own, unlike plants here above on the upper crust. And I suppose that's probably a debatable subject amongst some people, but I know in one of the journeys she had us go down, and she said to feel the grass caressing your feet because it's so happy that you're here. And that is an expression of Mama Gaia's love to us, that inside the inner earth, the earth and the grass and the plants and the vines and the trees are conscious beings, and that they do respond to touch. So that when you put your toes in the grass, you can feel the grass caressing your feet because it's so happy that you're there. It's absolutely so beautiful. I love her journeys whenever we get to go into the field of green grass and red flowers. And by the way, the field opens out onto a cliff where you can look down the cliff almost into a valley of what we would have here on the upper crust and see the huge giant Anshar city right next to the glowing central sun. And on the back side of the field is the jungle and the forests, and that's where all the wild critters and the dinosaurs live. Another really cool thing is whenever you're standing in the field of green grass and red flowers, maybe on the next time that she does a journey, we can all just connect together and stop and like look around at the inner earth and see the pink and blue sky and the clouds. And depending on where you stand, you can see the concave structure of the earth and see the central sun in the middle and look around the sides and almost see how the jungle comes up like this. And I've went through the jungle with the dinosaurs with Anya multiple times. We have lots of fun riding around on a couple of tame T-Rexes that are our friends. And as you're in the jungle and the forest, it doesn't feel like you're concave and going around, just like it doesn't feel like that for us on the upper crust. But sometimes when you stand in the field, you can look up and you can see that geode structure from the inside of the earth. It's really awesome. So maybe next journey that me and Anya do together, we'll all stop and pause and in your third eye take a look at that geode structure of the inside of the earth and how things look circular and round like that. But anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit about the animals and the critters. So above, we say that things go extinct and that they no longer exist, and that is simply not true. Anya told me, and I've channeled with her before, that nothing ever truly goes extinct. The animals and critters just simply get relocated because perhaps we as a human species are polluting their environment or killing them off, and we think that they're gone forever, but they're not. They've simply just been relocated to a different space where we as humans can't see them and they're allowed to thrive. And a lot of times they're still above on the upper crust, we just don't know where. And a lot of times they come through the portals in the trees and they come and live down in the inner earth where they're completely protected and safe. Because by the way, as you know, we don't kill animals inside the inner earth. That's just not the way it is. That type of thing is more of a lower vibrational human behavior, and eventually that will mostly all go away as the earth ascends and things change. So these animals that are considered extinct are still existing. My son asked me once, whenever I was doing a channeling, and after the channel, little set question and answer session where he will ask Anya questions. And one of the questions he asked her was about the saber-toothed tigers and were they still alive? And she said, yes, they are. They still exist in the jungles of the inner earth, but not in the way that we have been taught where they're ferocious murdering killers. They're more like gentle beings now, but still look the same. So the Anshar have pets, just like us. It's so amazing. In one journey that we did when we were in the field of green grass and red flowers, I happened to see, it was so fantastic, a few other Anshar that were out in the field and they were walking their pets. It was so fantastic. So they don't have dogs and cats like we do up here, and from my understanding, house cats like we have here on the upper crust don't exist at all within the inner earth. They have other critters. I don't know the name of them, but maybe Anya can channel that through for us all one day. I'll try to make a little bit of digital art of this beautiful little critter and put it up there for you as close as I can. But they're almost like, it's not a porcupine, a hedgehog. A little hedgehog. They are so cute. And where the hedgehog would have the little spines is grass. It's like green, the fluffiest, greenest grass growing on top of the little hedgehog. They still have the little nose and the little smile and these big, beautiful, glowing brown and yellow eyes. And to pet them, it feels like the softest, silkiest grass that you've ever felt. So I'll try to make a digital art of those little guys and put it up there for you. But that's what they have for pets, and I'm sure there are other little critters that they have too. But during that one particular journey that we did where we were channeling in the field of green grass and red flowers, I was able to see these beautiful Anshar out walking and playing with their little hedgehog, grassy little critters. It was just so cute. And last but not least, since we're talking about critters, how can I not talk about my most favorite beautiful dinosaurs of the inner earth? My most favorite ones are the ones that Anya has said during our journeys come out into the field, the little ones. They come in various different sizes. The little bitty ones on up to a little bit taller, depending on how tall you are, that might go up to about your mid-calf or your knee. They're really small, and some of them look like small little brontosauruses. Some of them look like tiny little velociraptors. Others look like little bitty T-Rexes. So they come in a variety of different types of dinosaurs, and they're all super gentle and somewhat tame. They love the Anshar. They love whenever we humans project ourselves down into the inner earth, and they're really excited whenever we astrally go down there because they don't get to see us regular humans a lot. So they'll come running out from the forest, and there's a certain call that you can do, that the Anshar do, to call to these little dinosaurs to come out, and they'll play and dance around your feet, and you can sit and kind of pet them and massage their little heads, and they are not at all dangerous. They're super beautiful and wonderful and full of love, and you get that same unconditional love feeling from them that you would get from your kitty cat or your doggy. But Anya did tell me they are not meant to be pets, so it's not like they can take one home and have it as a pet, because they are still wild dinosaurs and they live in the jungle with the rest of them. So anyway, I hope that my Inner Earth chat filled you with joy and love, and a little bit more of an understanding of some of the things that I've seen and experienced along the way during my private meditations and during my channeling time with Anya. And as always, I'm very excited to make more of these after the channeling videos for each and every one of you, because as a collective of humans, as each and every one of you are Inner Earth family to me and to the Anshar, the more that we all connect together, the more of this information I can share with you through myself, the more that I can share to you through your third eye as I channel with my beautiful sister Anya. The faster we help the knowledge of the inner earth permeate and flow through the wave of the collective mind of humans, so that more and more people can come on board with the inner earth just as an idea even within itself, and start to deprogram their mind, start to open their third eye. Because the fact is, the earth is shifting and changing. We all know, based on science and news, that the polar ice caps are melting, that the ice is melting more rapidly every single year, that the earth is getting hotter, and then she'll get colder, and she'll heat up again as she ascends. And as these ice caps melt, there won't be any devastation, by the way. It's not like things are going to flood and people are going to die. That's just simply not how it works. The extra water from the outside goes back inside so that the water can flow synergistically as it's meant to be. And that within our lifetime, I have asked Anya how many cycles around the sun will it be to when the polar ice caps melt, and she said she doesn't have an exact answer for that, because here we are in the time of the Matrix, and that doesn't exist in the inner earth. But from my understanding, it will be around 25 cycles around the sun to 50 cycles. So somewhere between those 25 to 50 years, excuse me, those polar ice caps will melt and the inner earth openings will be revealed. And what a beautiful day that will be, whenever the central sun energy can flow from the inside to the outside and all around the earth and fill Mama Gaia's Merkaba and aura with all of that pink energy, and we all get to experience this new earth together. So thank you again for being my inner earth family, for resonating with my messages, and my promise to you is to continue to make these videos and share the knowledge that I've received and share the visions that I see whenever I'm channeling, and anything that is important and permanent, and really just to share this knowledge with each other and those that are open to receive. So I thank you so much for resonating with me. I thank you so much for watching me and watching my beautiful sister Anya. And I look forward to the day that we all get to meet together as Inner Earth family. And as my beautiful sister says, I hope this message finds you in a place of peace and joy, for it is exactly where you are meant to be. Thank you so much, and I love you. Mwah.